Live from the happiest place in the Lone Star State, welcome back to the Talking Mickey Project. From trivia and trip reports to unboxings and interviews, TMP is your home, a special home for Disney fans of all abilities. Now, from the TMP studios high above the skyline of the Alamo City, it's your host, Emma. Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? It's got to be a gaff right away, and that was me, of course. Hey, howdy, folks. Happy Saturday.
Hey, it's going well.
To Joey and to Miss Lisa and Mr. Keith, right? And Miss Bridget's there. Hey. Chief Leaf, is that right? Chief Leaf? Chief Leaf?
Chief Leaf.
If you are here for the first time, we have something special for you.
For you.
First visit. Welcome. Welcome. And let's go back. We're going to say hello to everybody. Yep. Hey, John's back. Welcome, John. Good to see you. Megan, good to see you too. Miss Alma's there. All right. Good to see the Mowanis. Yep. And Bridget saying, hey, Joey. Hey, it's Joey's World. That's right. Everybody knows Joey.
Yeah.
Mickey's spirit animal. Good evening. Hey,
Hello.
It looks like you might be here for the first time too. So welcome, Mickey Spirit Animal. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have a special interview tonight. Yep, Chief Leaf. That's right. I can't wait for this. Yeah, this one is a good one. Oh, and Chris is watching too. Hey, Chris, good to see you. And we're going through Miss Chantal. There you are. Good to see you. Yeah, all right. Well, we have a fun one tonight. We have an interview with
Mr. Corless from WDW News Today.
That's right. And we reached out to him, his assistant Melissa, who was awesome helping us organize this, right? Helped us coordinate it, and it was a lot of fun. You're going to see it was a lot of fun. He is a really good guy. He knows a ton about Disney, of course, and at the same time, he's also a big collector. So we asked some questions about that, and we asked some questions about what he thinks about the future of the parks. So that is something that's going to be good too. Hey, I love that. That's a virtual hug. Thanks. See, Emma needs that. She deserves that good hug. Huh?
We're going to hug you.
Beverly Beth Smith. Hey, are you new too? Because if you are, you get a first visit button. Thanks for joining us tonight. That's right. Thank you all for coming tonight. It means a lot. It does. Big follower WDW. We are too.
Yeah.
We watch every Thursday night, and we watch all the news updates, and have really enjoyed it.
That's the new subscriber I got earlier.
That's right. So you're visiting for the first time. Welcome, Joseph.
And
thank you for being here.
Joining my community, Mr. Joseph.
Exactly right. And Annie, Uncle Kevin, and Grace are watching as well.
Okay, good.
Oh, Emma was in my 5th grade class. Somebody that knows Emma.
Miss Smith?
It's what it is, Miss Beverly Beth Smith. That was your old teacher. Isn't that something? Look at that. Look at she's thinking. The wheels are turning. I can tell. Yep, here's Emma's links. They're in the chat. And y'all are making this mama so happy. Yes, that is Emma's mom. And she is happy y'all are here, and we are too. So, guys, I guess if you would indulge a little bit, Emma would always like, Miss Smith from East.
Yeah, I remember her.
There you go.
She's the one who gave me her small picture, including that Pokemon that go with the Pikachu on there.
Oh my gosh, boy, does she remember some details, huh?
Yeah,
I wonder why she knows.
Walk your picture somehow.
Well, we moved a few times, but it's in your brain, right?
Yeah.
I'd imagine it is.
I can look in the old drawer, the one that y'all got taken away with the double bed condo.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm sure we would have packed everything, but that's okay. I think we want to take a couple minutes. You want to thank your sponsors?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to put Emma's voiceover intro. This was the first intro she's done. So if y'all would indulge us just a minute, we're going to play that real fast to thank Emma's supporters. And then we're going to be right back with the interview. Ready? Yeah. All righty, let's go.
Thank you, Raymar, for your support of the Talking Mickey project. Visit Raymar at 255 East Glassy Road here in San Antonio, or schedule your blowout at raymar.com. Join the trip by Bridget Langford is our Little Disney organized vacation planner. Email Bridget at bridget.langford@jointhetrip.com or visit facebook.com/struggle with a Langford. The Beyond Disability Texas podcast was created to help families in Texas to find resources for their special needs family members. You can also join the Beyond Disability Texas Facebook group. Look for our supporters linked in the video description and at TalkingMickey.com. Thank you everyone for supporting the Talking Mickey project.
And we're back.
Look, here's the end, you guys.
All right, y'all ready? Well, how do we do it? We start interviews how for all the new people? What do we say? I say, are you ready to start, Emma? And you say yes.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, then bippity boppity.
Welcome, Mr. Cole. Could we go WDW News Today?
That's right. And news today. Emma's a little nervous, I think.
Sorry.
She's been sitting with me for a few minutes now. She's nervous about meeting you. But
well, don't be nervous. Thank you for having me.
We had one quick thing. We're going to show you a photo from a while back where you actually met Emma at the 30th of EPCOT. So it's a throwback here. Let me show you this picture.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. This was at the Land Pavilion, and she got your autograph, and she still has that. So it's been a few years, but
yeah, just a few.
But she's been a fan for a long time. So thank you again for doing this. Are you ready to rock on your questions?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's go. Number one.
When did you become a Disney fan?
I was pretty much born a fan. I had to be born a fan because my parents and my cousin were already visiting Disney World before I was born. So I think my mother visited at least once while she was pregnant. And then I was only a couple months old the first time they took me. So I didn't have a choice. So this is, anytime my parents get upset about the life choices they made, I'm just like, well, you're the ones who were going before I was even born. So
he was born a fan even before he was born, huh? That's pretty cool. Emma's been a fan. Her first trip there was when she was 4. So it's been all uphill and downhill and back and forth since then, but it's been great. She's been probably a couple dozen times to Disney World, and we've been once to Disneyland. So hopefully we'll get back there as well soon. But you ready for number 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, number 2. What made you want to create your own website and YouTube channel?
So I was pretty active in the community when I was younger. I mean, in my teenage years, and particularly on WDW Magic back in the day, which I think everyone at some point in their fandom was probably active on there. And maybe not the younger people. I don't even know. I'm too old now. But back then, I was a pretty active community, but news from the parks didn't come in very often. I'd say 2 or 3 times a week, you'd get some tidbits of news. People weren't going every day. It wasn't what it is now. And I felt like every time I visited the parks, I felt like it was clear every day that things were happening. And so I thought we should start a website where every day we do some sort of update. And back then I was like, well, surely there has to be something every day. Like something has to be painted, or some piece of merchandise has to come out, or some piece of food has to debut somewhere where there'd be at least enough for one story a day. And now here we are in 2021, and the website will post anywhere from 25 to 40 something stories a day. So things have changed. Things have changed a lot in the last 14 years.
Yeah, I could have.
Well, and I mean, to me, it's interesting what's interesting to people now, because really a lot of things, whether it's if you're in the food side or you're in the attraction side or the music, there's always something in your area of interest, and it could be the smallest thing that people cue in on. We followed the whole issue, I guess, recently with Ohana and the noodles. Yeah. And it's like that created such a big uproar. And it's like, man, don't take away what's close to people's hearts. And you never know sometimes what that is.
Yeah, it's Disney World. And it's a place that a lot of people go when they're very young and develop a very strong emotional connection. And these things are there for 10, 15, 20, or sometimes many more years. Yeah. So obviously people build a lifetime of memories with, whether it's the Great Movie Ride or a bowl of noodles, whatever it might be, people have an emotional connection.
That's true. You ready for number 3?
Yeah.
All right.
When did you decide to do it a full time, and how did your friends and family react?
The first year or so, I think my mother asked me several times, "What are you doing? Like, how are you paying your bills?" And that went on for like a year and a half, where I think they just believed, not because they didn't believe in me, or I just think when you come from that generation, I think it's hard to fathom that your son could start a big company that literally just reports on theme parks every day. Yeah. And you couldn't, if I was born in the 1950s, there's no way I would understand how any of that works. I would never be able to wrap my head around that. And so it took them a while, and then eventually I think they got it. I think once they came to a couple of the bigger events, and saw how many people worked for the company, there was a point at which I think finally my mother and father were like, oh, clearly this does very well. Enough where several people, this is their living, not just my son. So this seems to be, but obviously everyone was very happy for me, and my parents are, I think, very proud now. But I think a strong concern for the first year and a half after I went full time.
Well, one of the things with Emma doing this channel, she started this last year, this month coming up, I guess, because we're in August, right? And my parents were saying, well, how are you going to spend all this time on this? What do you think and it was a similar thing. I think they understand, that we like to go, that we've gone a lot to Disney World, and that we're fans of that and all as a family. But I think the what they've come to learn is that there's this community out there that supports one another. And it's not just what you're interested in, it's being part of that kind of fandom thing. And I think that's helped Emma to do what she's doing, and to have the confidence, because she's sometimes a little shy with things. So, all right, you ready for number 4? What's that? Your nose itches? Okay, I don't know what that means. Number 4. All right, there you go.
With WDWNT being so successful, how have your job and your channel changed over the time?
Well, the biggest change would be where I'm sitting now. This is our, we have an office and studio complex in Celebration. So this is, if you had told me 14 years ago when I was, I grew up in Bronx, New York. We didn't have a very big house because it's the Bronx. They're all the houses are on top of each other if you even live in a house. And we had such limited space that the computer in the house was not even set up in my room. It was in the dining room, which was directly next to the living room. I basically sat behind the television. So the TV was on a corner in the living room, and then I sat, the desk is in the corner of the dining room, and just shoved in there with the computer on it. And I just worked from there for everything we did for the first several years. So to go from that to having an office where people come in here, and obviously on Thursdays we have a live studio audience and do a show with all this professional production equipment. Not that we know how to use it or the show is very professional, but at least
it's fun.
The equipment is professional grade. That's a big change from doing something in your dining room when you're 18 years old. That's a big adjustment.
Has it changed how you do what you do from your fan perspective? I mean, are you as engaged as someone who goes and enjoys the parks, or are you doing it more from the business standpoint?
I think as far as Disney World, most visits are probably work related unless my parents come visit. Or the occasional dinner or something. But then when I do get to travel, not that you've been able to really travel for the last year and a half, but it's kind of more of a vacation and more of I get to be more of just a fan again when I go to Disneyland or Japan or Paris or wherever, which is nice. But like once a month, I find it at least a full park day to go here and just try to be a normal person again. But then of course in the process of being there today, like I've been there a lot in my life, and I notice things, and then inevitably the phone comes out and I'm writing to the editor like, hey, I noticed this new thing, we might want to run this, or people might be interested in this. So anytime anything I try to do not for work eventually just turns into work. You're there and you see something, you're like, well, I got to send that in.
Well, they say, if you do what you love, right, it's not a job. So
absolutely. That's why I don't. It's never a bother, right? Like, I mean, certainly what we do is work, and we work very hard, but we do really enjoy it. So it's never like, oh, I'm not gonna today. I'm just the phone staying in the pocket, not gonna send anything in. That doesn't happen. Even for a lot of the other people that work here, the reporters and stuff, like even on their day off, if they're in the parks, they'll send stuff in just because I think they always seem to care.
Well, that's good. That's good. And that comes through, I think. All right, you ready for number 5?
Yeah.
All right.
We watch WDW News Today every week. What is it like planning and hosting a show like that?
Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys are the two that watch it. Right?
And our wife, and my wife.
3. We're up to 3. That's big. So that show takes up a majority of the work we do in a week, at least in this building. So my assistant and myself, that's it's got to be more than half of our work week. And in fact, the calendar that's up behind me is like the show calendar, kind of like a lot of weekly shows do. There's a list of whatever segments we're going to do or ideas or whatever like that. So that's right behind my desk. That's the biggest work board in the office is related to News Tonight. So we start pretty much from the day after the show on Friday. I'll start kicking stuff over to Tyler, who's our graphic design guy and does a lot of the video segments. Okay. And I'll start sending him a couple of the bits that we know we're going to do. And then Eric and Guy and myself will start writing monologue jokes probably around Monday. So between Monday and Thursday, that'll all get written. While that's going on there, Nick and Eric Wolf will be putting a game together typically on most weeks. And what else? We have we just had a production manager just started. We have a whole production crew now, which is a new thing for us. So we have Jake, who runs the production. We have 2 camera people and an audio engineer who come in on Wednesday. The other new thing we started doing is Wednesday is rehearsal. So we actually, after 14 years of joking about how we should rehearse, we decided we should start. So on Wednesday nights, whoever's on the show that week and the whole production crew come in, and we do sort of a run through of the show as best we can. And then Thursday is show day. We open the doors at 8:30 to the public, and 9 o'clock we're on the air.
Awesome.
That's a lot of work. And I'm sure because you got to keep everything timely, you're rewriting stuff right until probably it goes live.
Yeah, because a big part of it is it is a live show, and I want it to feel live, and I don't know what feels more live than being able to respond to if news broke at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Exactly.
So I remember some instances where I think they announced one of the 1,500 returns of the electrical parade. They announced one like right before the show one week, and I remember us writing jokes in like 20 minutes before air that week, or the week that the Jungle Cruise boat sank.
Yeah,
was Thursday, and I remember quickly messaging people because we wanted to do a parody commercial because we have fake ambulance chasing lawyers who started with the unplanned downtime on the Skyliner, and we named them the law offices of Ghana and Dola. So we figured if anyone's gonna get involved, if a Jungle Cruise boat sank, it would be the law offices of Ghana and Dola. And so
I remember that.
Within just a few hours, we had to write and produce and edit that commercial because we wanted people to tune in that night and be like, wow, like that happened today. And things are funniest when they've just happened, right? The jokes are always funnier when they're immediately after the event. Otherwise, it wears off.
Well, the one that had us cracking up and Emma as well, and it was, I guess, probably a couple of weeks ago now, was the PSA on vaccinations. I don't know who had that idea, but that was brilliant.
So that was, I don't write them all. I'm not going to take credit for all of them. That one was me because I kept seeing, I was watching YouTube, and every couple of videos I'd get some sort of different vaccine PSA, and then I watch a couple of live sporting events I watched or things they had people doing them, and I was like, oh, we should do that. But what's like a fun way to do it? Like, we can't just do it straight. I don't want to just advocate for the vaccine. I also want it to be clever and funny. And so we thought about it, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, a world where COVID is defeated is a world where we could have entertainment back, and we could have the parks could be more normal again, right? And that's the funny spin on that is like, well, that would require Disney to spend money. And Bob Chapek has a little bit of a reputation for not liking to spend that money. And so we thought it'd be funny if it was like, I don't care about anything. And it's joke, obviously. I do care about the well-being of people. And luckily people got that, which is great. And I didn't get
I don't know. Did y'all count the click-throughs on that site, on that domain? Because we went through it. I was like, I got to see what's there.
We actually haven't. I could tell you the video it went pretty big on TikTok. It was seen by a good amount of people on Facebook. And enough so that several people stopped me that week specifically about that. Like usually I'll get stopped for, I love when you live stream. We watch News Today, the 3 times a week news show. But specifically I got stopped several times because people that watched the show said, oh, I saw that vaccine PSA and that was brilliant. Thank you. I think it resonated with people because I think there's still a lot of cast members that didn't come back, or entertainment people still waiting for that call. And people really seem to like it.
They definitely so.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the go, we know you are a serious gimmick collector.
That's a smile on me, right? You stop to smile for a second? Okay.
What are your favorite things to collect?
Favorite things to collect. I like, the good answer would be I like collecting. I like the theme park props because they, I think they're special. I think anything that guests got to see and brought them joy, there's a specialness to that. But my favorite thing are tchotchkes. So any sort of weird, bizarre thing, the less functional it is in real life, the better. Like the more ridiculous. It just so happens this is sitting on my desk here. I'm going to show this.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a hat for a journey to the center of the earth in Japan. This is a hat, by the way. It's a hat of a volcano. And it doesn't serve any real function. It's not really going to protect you from the sun that well or anything. And the fun part is there's a tube that comes out of it, and if you blow in the tube, the volcano erupts. So this is one of my favorite things just because it's clinically insane. It's just completely like, who would buy this? Who wanted it? And I love it. So the more, I want to say some park prop, but the more ridiculous and insane it is. I just love the reaction it gets from people when you show it to them. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why was this made? I can't believe this exists. Those are my favorite.
How many did they sell? That's what I want to know. Probably
we'll never know, but I would love to. Yeah, I mean, in Japan, people in Japan. The Japan guests love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you'll see, especially when they coordinate outfits, there are sort of like groups of guests. And we know them by name. There's Dalmatian girls, so they'll all have the 101 Dalmatians big plush hat, and then they'll all wear like a black and white outfit, and they all match. Then there's there's the ham girls. They all have the big ham from Toy Story plush hat, and everyone somehow is coordinated on these strange pink jumpsuits. Where if you wore them in America, you'd think like they're part of a cult or something, but there it's less frightening. There's Hank from Finding Dory. You'll find groups with that big octopus hat, and they all have like the red jumpsuits. So they love the ridiculous hats, and they love to all buy them and wear them together when they come to the park. So it's very different there.
We've ordered a few things over the years from, I guess, from eBay, but sourced, I guess, out of Japan because they have more Oswald stuff, and Emma's a fan of Oswald. So we found a few things that way, and they've been a little bit more like the shirts recently and stuff. Right? You have the button-up shirt, but yeah, it's hard to find some things, and their stuff always seems like it's more fun. But all right, you number 7.
Yeah.
It's related to this one, so all right.
What are some of your favorite things in your collection?
Favorite things. So one of the things I bought recently, and eventually we're still kind of moving in here. So there is a small museum space here that we're still setting up, and I'm really excited about a couple of things in there. One thing is we have one of the shields from the Mr. Toad ride at Disney World that's long gone. And it was in one of the rooms that was, because it was different. Disneyland and Disney World's Mr. Toad rides were different. And ours had scenes that were not in California because it was 2 tracks, was bigger. And one of them was this trophy room. And this big tribal shield was in there, and I vividly remembered it. It was one of the few things I vividly remembered from that ride as a kid was that trophy room. And so it came up in an auction, and I said, I don't remember a ton from Mr. Toad here, but I specifically remember this shield. And so I really wanted it, and luckily I won it, and I'm really excited. It's still wrapped in there right now. I'm excited at some point to unwrap it, but that's pretty cool. That, and I also got a big New Tomorrowland sign. From 1994. Yeah. It was on the construction walls when they built New Tomorrowland. And that's a big hallmark of my childhood was that New Tomorrowland. I vividly remember them building it. And then I'll never forget the first time we saw Timekeeper, or the first time we went an alien encounter. That just sticks with. I just remember looking down that main boulevard and just being blown away, especially at night. All the neon and the Astro Orbiter back then, all the planets actually spun. And it was just this really cool, amazing. And there was the robot newspaper guy, and I just love that so much. So to have that sign, it's really cool. I love that. I love that Tomorrowland.
That's cool.
Wait, ain't that newspaper guy still over?
I don't know if the newspaper guy's still there or not. I don't remember.
No, he got ripped out a year or 2 ago. They took out him, and there was also a phone booth. Yeah. And you'd hit the buttons on the phone booth, and the fun thing was the hold music was Best Time of Your Life from Carousel of Progress. And then you'd call all sorts of weird aliens, and it was just really fun. It was really, really fun.
And when we went the first time, we stayed at the Contemporary, and we went mostly to the Magic Kingdom. We were only there for a long weekend. And being 4, I think we rode the Winnie the Pooh ride 1,000 times. One of the things we got her recently, we found somebody made on Etsy, was a deed to Toad Hall that's copies the one that's that's out there now.
Yeah,
it's on the wall. It's okay. It's back there above her head with a little seal on it.
Okay.
But they put her name on it, on Etsy. So it was really cool, and that's a memory for me as well as for her.
Yeah, that's the thing I always tell people about this stuff is, you shouldn't. And people on my staff are gonna watch and be like, "You buy everything," but it should mean something to you. It should. Those are the best things you own, is if they spark a personal memory.
Yeah.
And so like that Toad sign sparks a personal memory. The Tomorrowland sign sparks a lot of memories. So yeah, that's always the best stuff. More, it's not about a monetary value or even how much other people react to it. It's really what it means for you.
It does. All right, you ready for number 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to the most about the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World?
Probably just like I'm excited about the new fireworks and those things, but I think in particular with the 50th, I think what I'm most excited for is just that actual weekend, that actual first weekend. I think October 1st, park anniversaries are so special, and even like the less important ones. I just remember like we met at EPCOT 30, like that's a memorable day for me. All those EPCOT anniversaries are really memorable. In a Magic Kingdom, like 40th and 45th, which obviously are not near as significant as a 50th. So I feel like, all these years of my fandom kind of been leading up to this moment where it'll be this great day we all get to share in. I think that'll be a really special day. And then we're doing our event on the 2nd and 3rd, which I think for a lot of reasons, especially after the year and a half that everyone just had, I think is going to be we have a really special opportunity because so much of the entertainment at the parks hasn't come back. The ability to have an event with so many of those faces that I think we're very sad that they weren't going to get called back in time for the 50th. And so for them to get the chance to be in a room with all those lifelong guests and do those characters and those skits and play that music that they've performed for people all these years, I think that'll be really great.
Well, we unfortunately will not be there for that. We're going to be traveling. We're planning to be there in December, and we actually arrive on a Thursday night. So I'm trying to convince my wife and the rest of us that are traveling with another couple to be there for one of your shows, because that would be our opportunity.
That'd be great.
But that would be kind of cool. So, all right, you ready for number 9?
Yeah.
All right, it's the parallel pair, I guess, or whatever to one.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking.
I try to be positive, but then everyone will always ask me something like this.
Well, we were trying to figure that out ourselves. It's like, what is it that we're thinking is going to be? And part of it is that I was thinking personally, in seeing what they've announced, that I was thinking there was going to be more. I mean, it's the 50th, right? You think like at the 100th, it's going to be amazing, right? So I was thinking at the 50th, it would be crazy. And I understand with all the pandemic stuff and all that, it's going to be a little different, but I'm a little bit disappointed, and I'm hoping they're going to pull some stuff out at the last minute and just surprise everybody. But I don't know.
Might bring Oswald back to the park.
Oswald, the other thing that Emma wants, if you know anybody that has any pull, she would love to see the Hatbox Ghost in Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom.
I thought for sure we were going to get that. That was one of those things where I was like, oh, that'd be a nice little thing to do. I think COVID took a lot away. I think, obviously we're supposed to have Tron. We're supposed to have Guardians of the Galaxy. We might have had the Play Pavilion. We would have had a lot more new to do. But again, there's that wording that they keep using where the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is listed as a opening season edition of the 50th anniversary. So if you're breaking the anniversary into seasons, that would indicate that you have different things to debut throughout the seasons of the event.
Yeah.
So maybe we get Guardians of the Galaxy in the 2nd season. Maybe in the 3rd season you get Tron. So maybe as it goes on, we get more of what we would have gotten. I think in the end we still lost some things though. Like I think they wanted to add that explosion ending to Our Big Thunder.
Right.
They had characters in Small World, which you're still seeing them go through with all the other stuff they were going to do in that Small World refurbishment. They painted the outside. Now they're painting the clock tower. So they did everything else except they had the characters. So obviously that became a casualty of the budgets given the closure. But Yeah.
You mind if I ask one more?
Yeah.
This is kind of related to that. We're talking about this the other day here at home. Was with all the movement of the couple thousand people out of Southern California, I've always thought that Disneyland got some of the better versions of some of the rides, especially after we visited, because they're local to where the Imagineers are and everything. Do you think that'll change when they move to Florida?
No, I think that's more a product of the audience, right? I think the parks are more a product of the audience where they're located. Okay. Disneyland's a local crowd, and Disney World is a lot of tourists. And I think when you're locals and you visit more, the bar is higher. Yeah. And when it's a tourist destination, I think in some cases the bar is lower. That doesn't correlate with everything, right? I think Disney World, the hotels are unmatched, right? That's what we do better than any Disney resort in the world, is those hotels. But then at Disneyland, like, the hotels are not as good and they're a little overpriced, but then the parks are really, really fantastic and full of a lot of great stuff. I think they're all a product of where they are and who goes there.
I think we were reluctantly agreed that some of the better versions are in California. I had all my life grown up in Disney World and visiting there. And when we went to Disneyland, it's like, okay, Pirates is better. Okay, the Mansion's better. Okay. But it was fun nonetheless. And I guess our home where you grew up, right, in visiting is Disney World. But yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, you ready for number 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
What makes you excited about the future of the Disney parks?
I'm excited to go back to several of the ones that I, as Americans, we're not allowed to visit yet. It'll be nice to go. So the last couple of weeks have been fun because we got to go to. Luckily, we went to Paris before the health pass thing started. Yeah. Now you can't get in, even if you are vaccinated or whatever. Doesn't matter. So it was great to go to Paris and be there for their reopening. That was, that's a memory I'll carry with me the rest of my life. And then it was great to go back to Disneyland. We went for the anniversary weekend. That was special. So I look forward to everyone being able to travel the world again and be able to go to whichever Disney park you want to go to, whether it's Disney World or wherever. I'm excited for people to be able to get back to these places and them to get back. I'm excited for us to just get back into normal in the months and years ahead, and the focus not to be on, are masks necessary indoors this week? Are they not? Or what are we rolling? What rules are we rolling forward? What are we rolling back? I'm excited for that era to end, hopefully sooner rather than later, and just get back to talking about the fun stuff, which is new food and new merchandise and new rides, and that's what I'm excited for. Just the business to get back to what it was before all this.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 11.
What makes you excited about the future of WDWNT?
I think this is still very new. We only moved in here in July 8th was the first show here. And so we're still moving in. So this is still very exciting, and I'm excited what this location will be for us for the next several years. Having people come in when we have the museum set up and they're able to see that and come see a show and have various events in there in the studio. And also the other really cool thing is I think something great that came out of COVID is that the world has made it easier for you to stream events and things to others. Yeah. And so what's great is that this is the first time we're doing an event where you don't have to be here in person. Like, we're going to sell a digital ticket. And so people, it doesn't matter where you are, you can be part. So I'm excited about that because I think there's so many events we've done in the past where people later are like, I really wish I could have seen that. And I wish, like, when we had all the entire creative team for Illuminations together on the last day of the show, I wish there would have been the ability to in a way that works, have streamed that whole day of events, but just we weren't there yet. So I'm excited that we're we have a lot of great talent in this company and a lot of passionate people, and we're going to be doing a lot of really big things that I think the public will benefit from. I'm excited to be able to share more with them and do more, do bigger and cooler and more adventurous stuff than, because it's fun to do live streaming and do news shows, but I love when we do just weird, wacky, and wild stuff like News Tonight, or then these events where we just have a whole weekend of talking to people who built these places and worked at them and made them what they are. Like that's the stuff not that I don't love the news, and I love to bring people the news, but that's my favorite part of the job.
That's cool. All right. Well, the next 3 questions are just for fun questions. Are you ready? Emma's excited about these.
Okay.
All right.
If you could visit only one theme park in the future, which one would it be?
Here's the one where I make everyone mad. Tokyo Disney Sea. That park is, I think it's the full realization of Walt's dream. I think it is the perfected vision of what the art form is. I think it's the attractions are tell these elaborate stories brilliantly. They're jaw-dropping. The vistas in that park are just some of the most beautiful in the world, and they're all man-made, which is incredible. It's just incredible what they did there, and the ability over the last 20 years to grow that park and not lose the theme. Because we know, like, there's been a lot of really great Disney theme parks through history. Epcot Center, one of them, but a lot of them don't age well. Sometimes they lose that vision, and it's very hard to find an identity later. I think Epcot and Hollywood Studios specifically are kind of lost. They don't know what they are. It doesn't mean there's not great stuff in them, but they're not coherent, and they're not what they fully could be. And I think Disney Sea has done such a good job in 20 years of starting off as this amazing thing and then continuing to just build on that. And now they have talking about things excited for in the future. That Fantasy Springs expansion is just all the models and everything just look unbelievable. And when you talk to people in Imagineering, like they're not talking about anything else on that upcoming slate except Fantasy. Anyone who's working on Fantasy Springs is just really excited about it. So it's going to be great. Tokyo
is definitely on our bucket list. Definitely on ours, right?
And going on another future that I know.
What's that?
Mr. Lou.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. She talked to Lou, and that was his favorite park as well.
I think anyone who's been to that park, it's probably
that's what it sounds like. It makes an impression. Is it a function of maybe this is an obvious question, but is it a function of the investment of Oriental Land Company, or is it the people in Imagineering maybe that are working on it versus the ones that are working elsewhere? Or
no, I don't think it's a reflection on talent. I think sometimes I know Michael Eisner would say that he felt that putting a budgetary box on Imagineers forced them to be more creative. But I mean, there's something to say for unbridled creativity, right? And so I think it's a combination of everything. I think just Japanese sensibility is when you do something, you do it to the best of your ability, and you try to meet the expectations of your customer. And they had certain expectation levels. And so Oriental Land Company felt the need to spend an ungodly amount of money and build that place. And then the Imagineers were told, like, do this to the best of your ability. Money is almost no object. And I think it was one of the few times in history Walt didn't even have that luxury. Walt, had to scrape and borrow and beg and everything he could to open Disneyland in 1955. So Epcot Center similar, right? Like they spent a tremendous amount of money on that park too. So like Epcot Center and Disney Sea, I think in their truest form are the two most special parks they've ever built.
Yeah, I'm thankful I'm old enough to have gone. I think I went the first time to Epcot in 82. So I remember seeing what was there then.
When it opened?
Well, it opened in 81, I think, right? Was it 81, I believe?
October 82.
82. Okay, well, then I saw it in the beginning. Yeah. For some reason, I had 81 in my brain. We just did a trivia about it. Okay, that's me again. Yes, I remember Horizons. Yes, I do. All right, you ready? Let's move on before we get sidetracked.
What about my part, though?
Oh, well, what's your favorite? Real quick.
Animal Kingdom.
Oh, here we go. Emma's favorite is Animal Kingdom because it opened the month she was born.
Okay.
Because
Same
this
year as well.
Huh?
Same year as well.
Same year, yes. And yeah, she's got a tie to that. Now, we did go there when you were 4.
Yeah.
Spent a couple of days in Magic Kingdom and one, I think, in Animal Kingdom. So, all right. Number 13 is the next fun one, right?
If you could live in any theme park resort hotel, which one would it be?
I would bet I have one that most people won't say. Old Key West. Maybe
Oh, wow.
maybe I'm just an old soul and I'm ready for retirement. Because that's what I mean. It's in Key West. Yeah, it does have that. I don't know. It's so like all the cast members there. I think because the people they interact with are like hardcore, lifelong Disney people. The people that own and stay at Old Key West. And I think because of that, the cast members are just always in a great mood and always really delightful. And then the other guests there are usually really nice. And then the vibe there is just so relaxed. It's like the most relaxing feeling of any of the Disney hotels in the world. It's not the fanciest. It's not the biggest. It doesn't have like a monorail going through. It doesn't have any of those things. But it feels like you're somewhere else, even though it's somewhere else not far from where it actually is located. But just like the colors and the other thing is architecturally, like I love that they're just these little buildings and each one's like a different height and it varies. It doesn't feel like a hotel. And I think that makes it feel special. I like those older vacation club hotels where they just don't feel like Riviera and Grand Casino Tower, just hotel buildings, right? Like it doesn't have that specialness. But Old Key West, this sprawling, community, almost like its own little city. And Olivia's is a really great restaurant, and Gurgling Suitcase is a really great little bar, and the pool is cute, and I love Old Key West.
We've never even thought about staying there. That may be something we have to look at one day, huh?
Is it a DVC?
It was the first DVC, I think. Was it the first one?
Yeah, in fact, it was originally just called the Disney Vacation Club Resort.
Until they built number 2, I guess, and they had to change the name.
They're like, oh, no, we have more.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 14.
If you could build any attraction in your backyard, which one would it be?
Well, I don't have a backyard. So. But if I had a backyard and it was very big, very, very big, probably I like the Sinbad ride from Tokyo, Sinbad's Storybook Voyage, just because it if we're talking about attractions that's still alive, that one reminds me so much of the older Disney attractions, the classics, right? These long dark rides. Like it reminds me of Pirates and the old Journey to Imagination and a lot of the Epcot dark rides, in fact, where they're just these really long musical journeys where you're just immersed in a place for like 15 minutes. And I think that's such a lost art form because every ride now is like 4 or 5 minutes. And not that doesn't make an attraction bad, but I just always feel like my favorite rides are the ones where you really just get lost for a good long while in a different place. Those are my favorite.
Kind of like going on vacation. Like the first couple of days, you're just unwinding. And if you had longer, you could enjoy it more. Maybe maybe that's a parallel, right? Yeah,
you feel as soon as you start to enjoy it, like the ride is over. Web slingers, I was like, oh, I finally learned how to do this. And then they're like, the ride's over. I just learned how to, but I just figured this out.
Oh gosh, that's cool.
That wasn't actually the first one, actually.
What was the first one? What do you mean? The type of ride?
Yeah.
What do you think the first one was?
Apparently in Niagara Falls, there was a marble area. In
Niagara Falls? Where are you getting this from?
The Expedition theme park.
Expedition theme park. Okay. She watches a lot of YouTube documentary stuff. She loves the facts. All righty. You ready for the last question?
Yeah.
All right.
What advice do you have for a newer YouTuber like me? Or
She's a ham. She needs a ham at. She really does.
who doesn't
This kind of looks like a ham.
Can I blow up the volcano?
No, you can't. Come on. Read your question.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay. So you want to do it again real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I got all women to come.
Yes, good.
Okay, thank you, sir. What advice do you have for a newer YouTuber?
Okay, now she's gonna. Who doesn't live near the theme parks, near the Disney parks, right? Okay, all right. Let's let Mr. Tom answer before you crack up. She does this on her other stuff. She gets these giggles, and it's too late.
What is not anything?
Okay, well, let's let Mr. Tom answer.
Okay.
So fun fact about me is I didn't live near the parks until when did I move here? 2013. So we started WDWNT started in 2007, and then so several years before I lived near the parks. So obviously, like there's a disadvantage, right? As a YouTuber, like it's harder to get actual park content when you're not here, but there's also, I think it gives you a lot of opportunity to be very different from what everyone else is doing. And so the things to do are to figure out what you like to do, what kind of stuff you want to make, and then figure out how to make it different and interesting and different from what everyone else is doing. And then the other key is you got to keep at it for a long time. No one's an overnight success. So we started in 2007. We never, the WDWNT as a company never made a profit until like 2015. So it was, it's a long grind to get there. And I know there's people that, especially in the realm of YouTube, there's people that have gotten there faster, but I think they still put in a couple years of work, and some people it'll happen faster and some people slower. And, you just gotta keep working at it. You just keep changing things. You see what works, what doesn't, and just keep going for it.
Can I ask one to follow up on that one?
Yeah.
This is more, I guess, for Emma, but one of the things that she's concerned about is that people are going to say something negative about what she's doing. She's very sensitive to that. Yeah. But what I've told her is that it's going to happen eventually. It hasn't happened yet, but eventually it will. Do you have any advice for her on that? Well, you've been doing it a long time.
If you're going to ask anyone this question, Tom Corless is probably the best one. Inevitably, people are going to say mean things. It's the internet, and people can be terrible. And the things you have to remember are there are a lot of really good people too, who when you're down or you don't feel good about yourself or good about what you're doing, that are very supportive. So it goes, it's a two-sided coin. There's good people and there's bad people. That's life. My number one thing that I've learned, which it took me a long time to learn, was that it's probably best to not engage. It's best to ignore it. People give you that advice for a long time. It took me a long time to actually take that advice from people. So I was like, yeah, it's easy for you to say. No one's saying it about you. But in the end, I think those people are right. I think it's best to ignore it and worry about, the people that like what you're doing and the people that support you and the people you work with. Worry about those people and just ignore people that say those mean things. Because I think if people say those mean things, if people feel the need to search out people on the internet and try to make them feel less than they are, those people are probably feeling a lot worse about themselves than you are. And you should probably just let that go.
That's good advice. All right. Well, you're done. You've asked all your questions. You want to say thank you and we can wrap it up?
Thank you, Mr. Tom Corless, the WDW News Today, for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me.
And we're back.
Well, we're back. So what do y'all think? We have a
Comment below, guys.
I was looking behind us. Everything's very pink. It matches your shirt. Emma has her spirit jersey on tonight from Disneyland that we got at the outlets. You want to show? Oh, earthquake.
You got an earthquake.
All right, well, sit down. Come on and sit. This child, I swear. Oh, okay. I guess she wants to show. Yeah. Okay.
Thank for at Mickey, my favorite animal.
Yes, she wanted to show you.
Your comment. I know how much you want for Mickey and what to show you with.
Yep.
It is in my collection. It is the 80th anniversary of
Fantasia.
Fantasia. I look at the cat, Mike.
Yeah, that's not 80 years old.
Go.
All right.
Anyway, I just want to show you.
Okay, we'll just
show you that.
You can sit it. You can sit it right there. That way you don't have to get up again. So scoot.
My favorite animal.
There you go. Yes, wanted to make sure you saw that. So let's look at some of the comments. Oh, there she is right there. This was a great show. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Nico, thank you for being here too.
Well,
and Art Fox. Yeah. Yes, Tom did a great job. We're really appreciative of the time that he gave and that he talked to Emma about. He had some great answers and some really good information. It's Joey's World. Says, great job, guys. What an awesome interview, Chief Leaf. What an awesome interview. Really fantastic. Yeah, he did a great job. Emma did a great job. That was awesome. Great interview from Miss Carolyn. Miss Bridget says that was awesome.
Thank you for that nice comment, Nico.
Mike's Adventure, great interview. That was an awesome Sorcerer Mickey. It is. My favorite. Absolutely love it, Emma. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. You did a great job with the questions, Emma. I learned a lot of things about Tom I never knew, and I've been following him for a while.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you for that nice comment also earlier, Mr. Chief Leaf.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Oh, and Nanny Shannon said you did a fantastic job too. Hey, John.
Thank you,
this was a great interview. So interesting. Good questions.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you for sharing that for me. I shall subscribe. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's a great compliment to Emma's work.
Yeah.
She has, I don't know, 60 or 70 videos out there now, tons of Disney trivia and other interviews. And we're in a couple seconds, we're going to share with you who she's going to be talking to next. And
a familiar original character from an original EPCOT ride that happened only twice with women. Well, not the second one, though, but the very first one and third one. And if y'all know what I'm pinning there, do not spoil the cat, please.
Well, let's go ahead since everybody's being so kind. They've stayed with us, and we appreciate you doing that. Saturday night, which is tonight, we had this wonderful interview with Tom Corless.
Yeah.
So if you would, please take a minute, go out to Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or wherever you want to, and just send WDWNT a comment. Yeah. Tell them thank you. And thank you to Tom for being on Emma's show.
Yeah.
She has a great interview with Lou Mangello a few weeks back. So if you haven't seen that one, I would encourage you to go back and check out that one because she had a really good conversation with Lou. And you know Lou is amazing as well. Emma's known Lou for years.
Yeah.
And it's been really amazing. So
and he's the original blogger.
Yeah, Lou started his stuff so long ago. So we got, drum roll, please. I think it's time. So tonight we have this one. Guess who's going to be on Wednesday night? We do live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. So this coming Wednesday is going to be
the original Dreamfinder.
She's going to be talking to Ron Schneider, the original Dreamfinder from EPCOT. Mr. Schneider online. We've connected with him. It's going to be a lot of fun. Emma's laughing because she hears Emma's mom downstairs cracking up. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I am old enough to remember the original Dreamfinder character walking around along with his friend Figment and the original attraction. because I went there, I think,
With
in
one,
1982 and then a couple times
yeah.
after.
Because there's been one that melted before getting closed.
Yes, you remember seeing part of the Dreamfinder's airship, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you go to the YouTube, there's a placeholder on YouTube for this live stream on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Just click it to get a reminder so that you can join us on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And then next Saturday night is Cars Land Challenge. So
Disney
trivia. We have Disney Trivia Live. How do you do trivia, Emma? You want to explain to people that are brand new?
Yeah. For those who are brand new to trivia, you do not post the answers in the chat.
Emma's all about the rules, y'all. So what we're trying to say, or where I was going with all that anyway, was on next Saturday night is that we do 15 trivia questions. We do 5 that are true and false. We do 5 that are multiple choice, and we do 5 that are just open-ended general knowledge questions. So you keep score yourself.
Yeah.
And you self-report how many you got correct.
Yeah.
And the person that has the most correct will get a prize from the prize vault of our favorite and our official Disney planner,
Miss Bridget Langford.
Miss Bridget Langford. That's right. So it's a lot of fun. And we do it on the honor system. And as Emma said, we don't put answers in the chat, but you keep track of them, and it's fun. So again, Wednesday, Ron Schneider, the original Dreamfinder, is going to be on Emma's stream. And
reminder.
This coming Saturday, a week from today, is Cars Land Trivia Challenge. All right, let's go back to comments.
Yep.
Yes, I missed the original attraction so much. This is going to be a very interesting interview. I think it will be too. So the real question is, Emma, are you going to sing the song Imagination? That's a good one. I wonder if she knows the words. She knows a lot about Disney. I wonder if she knows that one. Wow, that's amazing. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Whoa, this is fantastic. Wow, awesome. I'll make sure to check it out. Can't wait to see all of Emma's interviews. Yes, she has done some really good ones.
Yeah.
The one I didn't mention, but that will be coming out on the 18th. So we're thinking like a week and a half from now, is going to be, I don't think I have the image up here.
No.
Nope, I don't think I do. But on the 18th is going to be our interview with Jason Ginsberg and
Fake Theme Park.
His alter ego, Murph Gantley from Fake Theme Park on Twitter and Facebook. So if you're a theme park fan, there is a parody account out there called Fake Theme Park that is hilarious. And Jason was really good enough to talk and to do an interview with Emma.
And he's also a Star Wars fan.
And I got to say, I've been following his parody accounts for years, and I kind of fanboyed on some of that stuff. So we had a lot of fun talking to Jason. That's going to be out on the 18th.
He kind of used a bad word in my...
Well, Murph did. Murph is the owner of Fake Theme Park, the founder. So you're going to have to watch it to see the context.
So we
but
kind
it's
of
definitely
word
good.
it for your safety.
For your safety. We bleeped that part out. It's a family show.
Yeah,
but he's amazing.
Friendly.
Jason is a very good guy.
Very friendly.
And he was kind of in character. So it was all right. But yes, everyone come back on Wednesday and Saturday, same time. That's right. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And, the good deal. Thank you, Mickey Spirit. Mickey's my spirit animal. Thank you for subscribing and for coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is actually everything. Anything else you want to share? Because we need to wrap it up. We are going... Oh, wow. It's been over an hour, guys. But y'all have made this awesome. Y'all have made time fly. Thank you for being here. And for everybody that's been here for the first time, one more. And what else? You get a heart. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. It's been really, really cool.
Make a like.
Tonight has been
subscribe.
awesome, and
The favorite video can help me get to 1,000 subscribers before November.
Emma's got
We're always at 200 subscribers, guys. We can do it. I'm going with all of you.
Emma.
Also, may God bless you.
May God bless you. Yes, Emma is absolutely. Emma is. She's got her spiel ready for the. She's a YouTuber. Hey, y'all, she is a YouTuber. That's all I gotta say. So, thanks for great content. Can't wait for the next show. Thank you again,
Thank you.
Chief Lee, for being here. Good night, Emma. Thanks everyone for coming. Make sure to smash the like button. And I think that is our cue to say good night.
Yeah.
So, Emma, say good night. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Also,
How do we say good night? Go
I'm
ahead.
always going to thank you so much for watching. Make a like, subscribe, and share this video with your family and friends. And those that you know around you.
And we'll.
See you real soon. Night, guys.
Good night, guys. See y'all soon.